In the heart of San Francisco, where the fog from the bay drifts through the streets like a whisper of forgotten secrets, Eliza stood by the large window of the conference hall, holding a cup of cold latte in her hands. She was 32, and life felt like a labyrinth of shattered hopes. She had just broken up with her partner, who left behind an echo of emptiness in their Seattle apartment. With her chestnut curls cascading down her shoulders and eyes the color of an autumn forest, Elizabeth came to this technology conference hoping to drown her pain in lectures and networking. But inside, she felt like a ship in a storm, adrift and alone. Suddenly, the room filled with applause. On stage stood Diana, 34, with dark, wavy hair framing sharp features and a smile bright enough to chase away any fog. She was a leading specialist at a Los Angeles startup, speaking about the future of artificial intelligence with such passion that the air itself seemed to vibrate. Diana appeared to embody confidence, but beneath the mask hid her own storm, a recent divorce from a husband who never understood her true self. She had lived pretending to be straight, conforming to family and social expectations, but deep inside, a spark waited to ignite. The conference was in full swing when their eyes met for the first time. Elizabeth sat in the back row, taking notes on her tablet, though her mind wandered through memories of betrayal. During the coffee break, she stepped into the lobby for air and accidentally bumped into Diana near the snack table. "Oh, I'm so sorry," Elizabeth exclaimed, blushing. "I'm such a mess today." Diana turned, her eyes, deep as the Pacific near the California coast, lit up with intrigue. "No harm done," she said warmly, her soft voice carrying a hint of a Latin accent. "You look like someone searching not for coffee, but for a lifeline. I'm Diana." They started talking by the window, overlooking the bustling streets of San Francisco below. Elizabeth shared that she had come from Seattle to escape personal heartbreak, while Diana admitted that the conference was her refuge from loneliness after the divorce. "Sometimes life hits so hard it feels like it's over," Diana said, and in her words, Elizabeth heard an echo of her own pain. Their conversation flowed easily, like a river carrying them toward unknown shores. They exchanged business cards, but that was only the beginning. Later that evening, after a panel on machine learning, Diana suggested, "Let's take a walk. San Francisco is magical at night." Elizabeth agreed, her heart racing. It was the first real connection she'd felt in months. They wandered up steep hills past pastel-painted Victorian houses, the fog brushing softly against their skin. Diana spoke about her childhood in a small town near Los Angeles, where her family expected a traditional life. Husband, children, stability. "But I always knew that wasn't me," she whispered, stopping by a fence overlooking the Golden Gate Bridge shimmering in the night. Elizabeth nodded, opening up in return, about her first love in college and the heartbreak when her partner left her for someone else. "I'm afraid to trust again," she confessed, her voice trembling. Diana took her hand, just a touch, but it sent sparks through her body. The air between them seemed to hum, as if the city itself was urging them closer. But drama came swiftly. The next day, during a group session on AI ethics, Elizabeth received a text from her ex, poisonous and cruel. "You were never good enough. Forget me." Tears welled in her eyes. She ran out of the room, hiding in a quiet hotel corridor. Sitting on the cold floor, she let the tears flow freely. Diana noticed her absence and went to look for her. "Hey, what happened?" she asked softly, sitting beside her. Unable to hold back, Elizabeth poured everything out, the lies, the betrayal, the love that had turned into a knife in her back. Diana listened silently, her hand tracing soothing circles on Elizabeth's back. "I understand," she whispered. "My marriage felt like a cage. I kept pretending. But meeting you, it makes me see light again." Their faces were inches apart, breaths mingling in the air thick with the scent of coffee and ocean. Time slowed. Elizabeth looked up and saw not pity in Diana's eyes, but recognition, a reflection of her own soul. Slowly, like a scene in a film, Diana leaned in, and their lips met. The kiss was gentle as silk, filled not with lust, but with the promise of healing. It wasn't passion, it was connection. It held the taste of salt from tears, the warmth of lips, the rhythm of two hearts beating as one. When they finally pulled away, the fog seemed to lift, and San Francisco glowed brighter. That kiss changed everything. They spent the rest of the conference inseparable. Lunches at cozy cafes near Fisherman's Wharf, sharing crab and laughter. Evening walks through Golden Gate Park, where Diana showed Elizabeth secret trails. Late-night talks in the hotel room about dreams. Traveling through Europe, building a life together on their own terms. But reality loomed. The conference ended. Elizabeth had to return to her IT job in Seattle, and Diana to her startup in Los Angeles. Their goodbye at the airport was painful. "This isn't goodbye," Diana whispered, holding her tightly, tears glimmering. "We'll find a way, I promise." Weeks dragged on in agony. In rainy Seattle, Elizabeth battled loneliness, each drizzle reminding her of San Francisco's fog. Work felt empty. She texted and video called Diana, but the distance burned. One evening, after a long day, she received a photo from Diana, a sunset over the Pacific with a message, "Thinking of you every second." It was the final push. Elizabeth bought a ticket and flew to Los Angeles. They met on Venice Beach, where waves crashed and skateboarders rolled by. Diana waited with a bouquet of wildflowers, her dress dancing in the breeze. "You're here," she cried, running into her arms. That evening was pure magic. Barefoot walks in the sand, street tacos, and plans whispered under the stars. But trouble found them again. Diana's family discovered Elizabeth through social media. Her mother called, furious. "You're shaming us. This is just a phase. Go back to a normal life." That night Diana cried in her apartment, clutching the phone. Elizabeth held her, whispering, "We're stronger than this. One day they'll see how happy we are." The ordeal only bonded them tighter. Diana cut ties with the toxic influences and chose herself. Elizabeth made a bold move. She found a job in San Francisco to be closer. They rented a small apartment in the Castro district, overlooking the hills where rainbow flags waved proudly as symbols of their freedom. Their love bloomed in bright moments. Picnics in the park where they fed ducks and kissed under trees. Road trips along the coast with music blasting and wind in their hair. Quiet evenings by the fireplace, where Diana read poetry while Elizabeth cooked dinner. One night became a turning point. After a dinner of seafood and wine, Diana knelt down, not with a ring, but with a promise. "I want to be with you forever," she said. Their kiss that night was filled with certainty, the taste of wine and the warmth of forever. The storms of their past had made their love unbreakable. They learned to trust, to forgive, to love without fear. Today, they live in harmony, facing life's tempests together. Elizabeth and Diana, two souls who found each other amid the chaos of the American dream, proved that true love is born from pain, yet shines brighter than the stars over Francisco.